welcome to our February board meeting. I'd like to call this meeting to order and take roll. Ms. Boyer? Here. Ms. Schultz? Here. Mr. Larson?
Here.
Ms. Anderson? Here. And Mr. Paul Wyatt is absent this evening. If you're able, please rise for the pledge led by Mrs. Schultz and the invocation given by Mr. Larson.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our Father in heaven, we're grateful to be here this evening. We would ask that Thou would guide our instruction this evening, that we may be able to learn about the issues that we need to take care of in our district, that we might be able to administer them appropriately. We're grateful for those in our district who serve our children, our administrators and our teachers and our support staff. We are grateful for the kids most of all, and ask for a blessing upon them, that they will be able to function appropriately at school, that we'll be able to provide them the education that they richly need. We ask for Thy guidance as we go about this meeting, that we will be able to do the very best for all of our shareholders and stakeholders, and we ask for these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Okay. Item 4.1, approval of the agenda.
Motion.
Second.
On favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Item 5.1, approval of meeting minutes.
I make motion to approve as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item 6.1, ratification of expense and payroll vouchers, tax credits, and activity accounts. Does anyone have any question on those?
No. I'll make motion to approve as presented.
I'll second.
On favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Is there anyone for call to the audience? No? And then, is there any future board items you guys want to add? No? Okay, item 8.1, cheer presentation.
I'll move very fast. I was like, oh my gosh.
Sorry, it'll slow down.
Okay. We are just here to just kind of share about our program a little bit.
Could you introduce yourself?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
My name is Anna Khan. I'm the head Spirit Line coach for Sholo. This is my
You're
first.
not one of the students?
No. But thank you.
All right.
I'm not.
Is it because I'm so old? Is that why?
No.
Could we have the girls that are here come up?
Yeah.
Yeah, and stand behind you.
Yeah, come on up, girls.
I'm Sam and me, and Becca and Sam.
Sorry to be such a smart aleck.
It's okay. Kind of
Last
flattering.
time we'll interrupt for a little bit.
We have a game tonight, so
Okay.
we're very few and far between who's here.
Okay.
We're just here because we're here to share about our program a little bit. I don't think a lot of people know how big our program is and all of the things that we do. I get like really emotional because I really love it. We have a lot of girls this year. Last year we had, I think maybe 16 or 17 girls all together at the high school for Spirit Line between cheer and pom. We only had a varsity. This year we have we have our junior high team. That was big last year. We have our junior high team. We have a JV team. We have a JV cheer and pom team. We have a varsity cheer and pom team. Almost 60 girls all together. The growth has been huge. We're doing a lot of things this year. Never, as far as I know, in the history of ever, has there been a competition for pom and cheer in the White Mountains. And we just hosted a very first one at Sholo. And it was a huge turnout. We had 19 schools come, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, from
Wow.
all over, from down in the valley, from Winslow to all over. It was really awesome. With that being said, all of our teams won a lot, and it was really cool to be at your own school and win everything. Our varsity pom took the highest scoring pom routine out of the whole thing. Our junior high got first, our JV got first, our cheer got first, our all-girls stunt got first. It's just really cool to watch it transpire, because sometimes when we go to the big competitions down in the valley, people just look at us like we're just like the little mountain folk, and we're not. We're really good.
Well, we are, but we're really good.
Yes.
So
Sometimes
that's
it's
okay.
kind of nice because
There's
it
nothing
throws
wrong
them
with
off
that,
a bit,
yeah.
and then we're like, surprise, and then they just
good.
don't know what to do. We're having a lot of growth this year, and we're planning on having a lot more next year. We're planning on adding a freshman team to our high school. The more freshman sports grow, we need a cheerleading team for them. We had basketball had a freshman team, I think, and football maybe. But they only had a handful of games. But next year, the plan is to hopefully have a lot. We're trying to get a freshman team, our JV pom and cheer, varsity pom and cheer. The junior high still has a team. But with that growth, need more space. We have our cheerleaders practice at Whipple Ranch, and it's great. It's so great. We love being at Whipple. It's a great space for us. But we have a lot of girls in there. A lot of girls tumbling and a lot of girls throwing other girls up, and it can be a little chaotic. We have our dancers practicing in the cafeteria at the high school, which is great too, but kind of yucky sometimes. And it's hard when we're not all together. We do things and it's just hard to not all be together. We need to get some more tumbling mats with growth. We have about 9 at the high school. The junior high has 9. But a competition floor, 9 tumbling mats that's it. So we take turns. They're really expensive. So we're looking for ways to get tumbling mat. We got a quote for 9 tumbling mats for our high school. I almost don't even want to tell you. It's so bad. It was $11,700.
This is tax credit season. Just throwing that out there.
Perfect. We need a dance room. Just all these things. We want to start having dance classes instead of PE at the school. Like you can take it as a fine arts or as a PE credit. Our athletic director is super awesome. We work really well together, and it's so nice having a supportive staff at the school. Mr. St. John's awesome. He's super supportive. Everybody's been really great. And we just kind of wanted to share how big our program is and how much it's growing. And they're more than just cheerleaders on the sidelines. I think a lot of people see us doing only that, but we're really competitive. Our season goes from August to March, and then we start up again in the summer and start practicing. We have girls that have gone to college for cheerleading. We have a girl on our varsity team right now that just has an awesome offer to a school in Michigan for college. We're adding more coaches next year. It's just really great. It's really, really great. I think having the support of everybody is really meaningful. I think sometimes we kind of just get looked at as the cheerleaders.
No, I agree with you. Cheerleaders are just as much of an athlete as any other athletics at the school, and dancers as well. I hope everyone agrees with that.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yes. I need my son to know that. He talks smack all the time.
You should join.
And
She
if
says he
talks
doesn't know
smack
that.
to you,
Doesn't know that.
smack him. You have my permission. Hit him where
In trouble.
hit him where you can't see the bruises. Okay.
We keep a really rigorous program with them. Like we require a lot of these girls, and they work really hard. We don't let their grades fall. We don't let them get in trouble. We don't let really anything.
Because again, you're an athletic team just as much as any of the other ones. Yeah.
Yes. And people are out to get, like, they want to see them in trouble, and they want to see all the athletes in trouble. And it's sad and it sucks, but we don't let that happen. There's no mistake. There's no room for error because they're committed and we're committed. And it's just like a really big family. And we really love it. We love Show Low. I love Show Low. I'm never leaving Show Low. I hope none of them do either, because then I'm going to have to hire a whole bunch of new people. But it's just really great. And we wanted to share how much we've done and how much we're going to continue to do and how much we're going to grow. And I think you guys like Sterling.
So keep us informed.
Yeah, let us
Come
know
back and
next time.
see us. Let us know of your successes.
And congratulations on the successes you've had so far.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, and really, you guys are every bit of athletes as any other sport, and you need to know that, and you need to know that you're awesome.
And Miss
And-
Middleton was in my preschool class.
Yeah,
Miss Middleton
Many
is gonna
years
be
ago.
the first ever solo pom line girl to be competitive all 4 years of high school.
Oh, good job.
so can you do me a favor? I want to know who everybody is.
And what you participate in.
Yeah.
I'm Darian Gabler and I'm a cheerleader.
What was your name?
Darian Gabler.
Okay.
I'm Julia Middleton and I'm a
I'm Hastings Reedhead, and I'm a
Jessie Chevalier here.
Chloe Flake cheerleader.
I'm Becca Skinner. I'm the varsity cheer coach.
I'm Samantha Ashley, and I'm the JV cheer.
Nice to meet all you guys.
Thanks.
Anyone
Thank you for being
seniors?
here.
Yeah.
We don't like to talk about it.
Sensitive subject.
As much as it's fun to watch them grow and get these cool things and where they're going, I'm like, don't you want to stay? Don't you want to coach JV? Don't you want to go to the junior high? Don't you want to help us? Don't you want to coach? Like,
Probably come back.
fun. We really enjoy it. We really love it. We talk about it all the time. And
Our kids are obsessed
Mhm.
with it. Obsessed with,
yeah, we bring our kids with
Yeah.
us. And
they're obsessed with
yeah.
the cheerleader. And they look up to them as role models. So
I've been impressed with all of our activities, and this group is super awesome. And they, I'm kind of an athletic nut. I like that stuff, but I really am inspired by the work ethic. And just, I will say though, being an old guy, probably being an administrator, I'm gonna lie to you, you guys make me nervous. So, I get that liability.
Be safe.
But you guys are awesome and tremendous work ethic. Yeah, really, really cool.
Yeah, just try to make more math to be safe. And not a hard cafeteria floor to dance on.
So you are coordinating with your athletic director to
Yeah.
Get the
Yes.
resources you need.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. We're working on new uniforms and fingers crossed for some new mat and just stuff,
Mhm.
It's a small school with a big growth. So there's only so much we can do.
Mhm.
Oh, we're doing
Well,
it.
live with uniforms a couple years in a row and get
Oh, yeah.
some
Oh,
safety
yeah.
issues taken care of first.
The
And
uniforms our JV wears, I think.
they're like,
They're
from like when I was in high school.
Yeah.
And that was like 15 years ago. So
keep after it. Fight for what you need.
We are. I'm really thankful that we have the athletic staff at this high school that we do. They're really great.
Good.
Mr. Hoffmeyer and Joel are really great.
Good.
Mr. St. John's really great too. 'Cause-
Good.
And tonight,
Yeah, we have a game tonight.
are we playing Snowflake?
No, we play Winslow.
Winslow. You
At
guys better get
home.
over there.
Yeah, so
Big
you'll
fan-
have to
there'll be a-
excuse
They
us.
have a big fan base over there.
Yeah. Yes. But
Thanks
thank you
for coming, guys.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Thank you for all you do.
Hey, real quick, come and say hi. Come and give us each a pound. All right?
We're go that
You
way.
guys
There you
are
go.
awesome.
Start here.
I'm gonna start over there.
Thank you.
Jesse, how are you?
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you for all you do.
Thanks.
You're
Thanks for
great
coming.
examples. Thank you. Thank you.
Get in on it. There you go. I got my ring on there. Yeah, thank you. I thought you guys were part of the team.
great.
These,
Thank
all
you.
three of these girls.
Thank you so much.
Keep after it, guys.
Thank you guys.
Okay.
Thank you guys.
Familiar.
Thank you. That's a pretty crazy growth.
Yeah, that's awesome. Item 8.2 CTE presentation from Mr. Butler.
How are you all this evening?
Thank you.
I'm Jerry Butler. I'm the CTE director at the high school, and I'm new to this position, but not new to the school district. I've been here for a few years, and I appreciate this opportunity to come talk about CTE. my favorite subject here. I'm going to see if I can get my slideshow to work here. If not, then I'm going to wing it. I mainly wanted to point out what's going on at the high school, but I think it's always important to talk about what CTE is to make sure that everybody understands it. Even in this day and age, we find that there's a lot of misunderstanding about what career and technical education is. And so career and technical education is, and this is a definition, I pulled this off the ACTE site, so this should be pretty valid. It's a type of applied education that combines academic and technical skills with knowledge and training needed to succeed in today's labor market. So that kind of makes it a moving target as, industry changes, CTE changes to adapt to that. We want to make sure that people understand that CTE is not our grandfather's CTE or vocational education from back in the day where it was wood shop, metal or auto shop, and then homemaking or something like that. It has adapted in recent years to meet the challenges of preparing students to enter the workforce. And so the big thing that I always like to make sure people understand is that CTE is not just for students who are not going to go to college. CTE is for students who are going to go into a career, which last time I checked with any students, that's pretty much all of them. So making sure that people understand that is pretty important to us, because this is what we're doing here is available to all students. And I don't have glasses, so I'm hoping here we go. Some of the benefits to students that participate in CTE, and these numbers have been gathered over years in many studies. There's longitudinal studies going back to the 1990s of students that participate in career and technical education and the benefits to them. So nearly all students, so over 90% of CTE students graduate from high school, which is about 10% or more higher than the national average for students who don't participate in CTE. And also over 90% of today's high school students experience some form of CTE in their educational process. So at Show Low High School is no different. Students have many opportunities to participate in it. Over 70% of CTE graduates enroll in post-secondary education full-time, which means after high school, they go full-time to something, whether it's a rigorous training program in industry or if it's 2-year college and, or university, all the way through graduate degrees. CTE students typically go straight from high school with little delay right into post-secondary education. And then over 80% of high school dropouts in surveys have noted that they believe real-world skills education would have helped them in school, help keep them in school, and help them graduate from high school and then have the skills that they need to go into the workforce. CTE is really kind of different than most academic classes on campus because the students go to class for 55 minutes, 52 minutes, whatever we're at now at the high school. But additionally, they participate in work-based learning opportunities that extend outside of classroom time. And so some of those examples where we are at the school are some of our school-based enterprises. And so most people are familiar with our preschool, the Cubbyhole at the high school. Students participate in that in addition to the time they spend in the class with their teachers. So it's a school-based enterprise that models a preschool inside of our school. We have other school-based enterprises. We have our Cougar store, where students in the business class have the opportunity to set up retail store inside the school and function as employees in that. Our culinary program, which is pretty well known through the district, they help out with a lot of events. Also has the Cougar Cafe, where students outside of regular class time participate in school-based learning experiences. We also have students that participate in internships through work-based learning, where they go out into the community. That's an area that we feel like we really want to concentrate on going forward from here, is to get more students out of the school environment and get them into the work environment in our community, where they actually have the opportunity to job shadow and intern with businesses, local businesses. Just a numbers game here, and statistics. If you follow Mark Twain, you can take statistics however you want, but just some numbers that I pulled this year for last semester. nearly 70% of the students were enrolled in one or more CTE programs for first semester of this year. Now, some of those students are in 2 programs, and we even have a few high achievers that are 2 CTE programs, and they might be in NAVIT as well. So keep that in mind when you look at the numbers here, but that's a pretty good population of our students that are involved. And as a comparison here, in PE, which is very popular at the high school level, about half or a little more than half of the students are enrolled in one or more PE classes, with a little more than a quarter of the population in all the music combined. So that would be band, choir, guitar, whatever other things are available under music. So you can see that CTE does affect a large population of the high school. Right now, we currently have 7 CTE teachers and a NAVIT career tech. And those 7 teachers teach a total of 9 programs. And that's where we are right now this year. I was speaking with Mr. Marsh earlier today, and we were talking about, I go back here at the district nearly 2 decades, but when I started here, I believe we had around 11 CTE teachers with about 13 programs. Mr. Marsh recalls even before that, a higher number of teachers and a higher number of programs. So if you look at our growth as a high school and student population, it's gone up. Back then when I started, I think it was 634 kids, maybe somewhere in that neighborhood, and now we're pushing 900. And our offerings in career and technical education have actually gone down over the years for many reasons. The biggest challenge is, just like everywhere in the district and probably schools in general, is staffing, finding people that want to come and work with young people and help them learn career skills. Right now, another problem is facilities, and I know that's not unique at the high school. That's probably everywhere, but if you have more people come, you need to have places for them to hold their program. So those are some of the challenges that we have right now, but I got to tell you, every one of these people on here is top notch, and I wouldn't trade them for anything. I mean, they're amazing with our students, their knowledge of industry, and then just being there for the students and making connections with the students is amazing. So most of our programs are very popular, and rightly so. That the people that are in that position in the classroom are the reason why they're so successful there. Plans for the future, we're really trying to grow out our program offerings to include other career clusters that aren't being addressed right now. And so one program that's not new, but we're going to kind of treat it as new, is our sports medicine and rehabilitation. That's been a very popular program, with NAVIT bringing online a program for what they call it a little bit different, personal training and rehabilitation, and that will allow students from our program their senior year to go into that program and become certified as a personal trainer or as a physical therapy tech. So that's an amazing opportunity for students who are either into being a personal trainer or might be interested in physical therapy as a career. So we're excited to move that from a part-time program to a full-time program. So we've now posted a position for teachers for that. So if anybody has knowledge of anybody that would be good at that position, we would love to have them come and apply for that. Something that's relatively new that we've been working on, and we're working on a grant to support the training of teachers, and this would be a computer coding program. We're working with a company, I believe out of Utah, called TechSmart, and they have a learning platform that is cloud-based, where they help teachers that are willing. They put them through a boot camp, coding boot camp, even if they're not computer coders by career, and help them be prepared to teach that in the classroom. I had written some numbers down here. I want to say it's somewhere in the neighborhood of over 40,000 unfilled computer coding or coding related jobs out there right now. Many of them in Arizona. Arizona is kind of becoming a tech hotspot, and there's many tech careers that require coding experience, and they're not being filled because there's not qualified people for those positions. So we feel like this would be a good program to bring into the school. So right now we're in the stage of trying to find those teachers that want to be the first kids on the block and go through the boot camps and get kids going into this program so we can build that out. Another program that's going to be new for NAVIT NPC is administration of justice. And so we'd like to entertain the idea of building a law and public safety program to feed into that program, much as what we want to do with our sports medicine, where students that are interested in careers in law, public safety, public service would be able to get some training and some skills to get them better prepared to go into public service after high school or to go through the NAVA NPC program. Another thing that we have this year that we're really excited about is this graphic here. It's called Career Trees, and it's actually part of TFS Solutions. It's the company, but the founder of it is Mark Perna, who happens to be the author of the book that we're reading at the high school called Answering Why. And this is a great representation by career pathway to show students what it takes to be prepared for those careers, what they need to do now in school and what they'll need to do next steps after they get out of high school. The all-important part, obviously, with any tree or anything that grows is the root system, and academics are absolutely at the core of making this viable for students. So students' academic performance and the classes that they take definitely feed into this concept here. And so we're working from CTE out through our high school to help bring this to the students. Students are going to see this as graphics, as wall graphics. They're going to be in all the CTE programs. They're going to get exposure to the concept of academics and these other skills as the roots to build on for their career. I believe NPC is using this. I first saw this at a summer conference last year, and I thought that's the best representation I've ever seen of what students need to be understanding as they go forward. And it ties very closely to this book that we're reading, Answering the Why. And if you have a teenager, you need this book because it explains why they think like they do. And as we're going through this study this year as a high school, and we're putting it together with the career trees, we're getting some powerful insights on how students now think differently than us as adults and what we can do to help them take the next steps to be prepared for what comes after high school. Oops, I went too far. I don't know if I can get over here and go back. No, going the wrong way. Sorry about that. At any rate, one shameless plug, speaking of next steps, and I've left some flyers here at the back, but we're going to start our first ever, it's called the Next Steps Night. And so we're taking a different spin on our parent-teacher conference. And what we're encouraging this semester for that night is that students and parents come to the Next Steps Night and not only meet with their teachers, but also meet with representatives of industry that we're going to have at the high school. So we want them and encourage them as parents and students to go through and meet different people from these industries and talk to them about what are these careers, what I need to be prepared for this career. Do I go to college? How much college? What do I have to do? And really start to look at what their next steps are past the high school. So we've involved some incentives that are on the flyer here. And if anybody has students that are high school age, we really encourage them to find out about this. We're trying to push out information through our social media outlets. If any parents of high school students are interested in hearing more about it, they can call the high school and we'll definitely explain it to them. But we encourage them to come out, and also in the community, any members of the community that have certain insights into what it takes to be prepared for certain careers, we would enjoy having them come and meet with our students as well.
And when are you having that?
I went way longer than I told Mr. St. John's I would. If you have any questions.
When's your Next Step Night?
It is the 23rd of February, so it's this month. It's going to be from 4:30 to 7 p.m. in the high school. And we're, other than having these people from industry in there, we're going to have representatives from NPC and some coalitions that are in that area there. So we feel like it's good to change, and that we should have these discussions with the students, from freshman year all the way on to what they need to think about to take the next step. So appreciate your time this evening.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you very much.
Item 8.3, Superintendent Report. Mr. St. John.
Well, I'll start what I added on the bottom there. AEL has been taken care of for a year. So yeah, we're all excited about that. And then really we went through, so I'm not going to go ahead and go through that, but a big part of my report was what we went through in the work session, just to talk about, so I'll just summarize that, the changes that we're looking at from this year's budget to next year's budget, which includes what we're hoping for is to do a 4% increase for our certified. We went over our administrative salaries and those kinds of things. Those will be that we'll look at in March at our March meeting. Talked about the $240,000 that was actually budgeted, which is awesome, for the $5 raise for classified. Still, obviously we want to look at those things. We need to look at the levels that we start them with too, and those kinds of that kind
And
of
those
stuff.
will probably need to go up again next year with the next minimum wage increase too, right?
I'm not aware of the new the laws
Doesn't
regarding
it go
that
with
or where we're
inflation
at.
every year
so,
now?
Every year, cost of living.
So it'll probably go up again next year.
okay.
I'm
That
sure
I'm
Vanessa knows that.
that I'm not aware of. Does not surprise me, and probably needs to. I guess I don't know how we're going to keep up with these. The numbers just keep. I guess we call that inflation, right? So
Vanessa probably has that taken into account.
yeah, and again, then all the different possible potential new positions that we would like to have is just what we can afford. And so we're going to have to prioritize those, and I'll have recommendations for you somehow, some way, either through the budget, or if nothing else. That's kind of why I run them by you, because those I don't want to have a hire and then what's this type of thing. So we're on board, and the heartburn's not there. The issues that we would have with why do we have this position. So I'm trying to keep you updated, and the community and everybody to know what potential positions we could have. So it's that may not happen in March. We still really haven't identified clearly enough the number, the finances that are going to differ from this year's budget to
Except
next
for the
year's
one that we talked about
that allow
would
us to
be
do that.
through
Pardon?
Title I funding, right? That one can go ahead?
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. So depending on the funding or the finances, then that does change the condition for sure. Okay. And then actually, the most important part of my report, which is not my report, but I want to give the floor actually for what they call the A for Arizona grant, and I want to give kudos to Mrs. Ramsey and Mr. West and their effort on this. And I'm just going to give them the floor and let them come forward and talk about the incredible work and a cool thing for the district.
Madam President, members of the board, last year the Arizona State Legislature started an initiative to modernize K-12 transportation options and improve access to reliable and safe transportation for students. The Arizona Transportation and Modernization Grant Program provides resources to improve transportation access for K-12 students and to accelerate transit innovation and efficiency. And in this second grant cycle that we just had, they had over 50 applicants apply for a grant. And out of the 50, 15 were awarded out of the 50, 15 were awarded. And out of the 15, 5 went to public school districts, and only 1 was awarded to a school district in northern Arizona, which is Shiloh Unified School District.
Yay. Well done.
So what we applied for this grant as our special needs population continues to grow. Our school buses are aged. We didn't buy new special needs buses really with the bond and override. So we asked for 2 brand new special needs school buses that are gasoline powered, because the diesel fumes kind of make some of the kids sick. And it's been rumored from Cummins themselves that with the new EPA regulations, they're going to stop making diesel engines for school buses between 2025 and 2027. So we're going to get ahead of that curve. So we were awarded 2 of those school buses. They'll be, they'll hold 3 wheelchairs, but they're not the long ones. They're minis. They're like 40. So it's about probably 20 feet long for those buses. But we'll be able to take those 2 buses in service, and we can take the little tiny ones that we have out of service and just use them as for preschool or for spares. And we've also were awarded, part of the grant that we asked for is we have a routing software that helps us get the routes where they need to go. We bought that software specifically with the purpose of having a GPS attached to it to communicate with parents where their children are. We've battled that program because of funding. This grant, I put the GPS in that program, and we were awarded that. So by next school year, all of our school buses will have a card that the students will be able, they'll tap it when they get on the bus, and the parents can get an app on their phone that says, John got on the bus at Whipple Ranch and John got off at the wrong spot, and we know where the kid is, right? He went to his friend's house. We will initiate, as soon as we get these buses in, once we get the GPS software, we're going to beta test it on a couple of our special needs routes just to see, because they're the ones that we want to focus on the most is our special needs population. Because, they're all important, but our special needs children are the special ones, right? They're the ones that are tucked in our sleeves. And I'm grateful for the state for giving us this opportunity. The total grant that we asked for was $450,000, and we will spend all but $3 of that.
Some pretty good budgeting. Will that help you
So,
track your riders and your mileage? That GPS
not mileage,
tracker,
but it
not
will
mileage?
track our riders.
Okay,
Mhm,
that's
so
awesome. Can
it'll
you
be
do the
GPS
next
based.
round, or will they only let you go into one round? Or they're
I
different
think they'll let
rounds?
us go one, I think.
Maybe
but,
another one? You can try for another
you
one?
know, yeah.
Yeah.
But we're grateful, and
Can only
we'll
say
answer
no.
any questions you might have. Right. So, you have any questions?
No, it's awesome. Congratulations.
Thanks.
You mentioned that then we'll have, I'm wondering if that will leave extra room for busing on Fridays? Would that be more possible with more of these smaller buses? If
We're
that
in
is something we ever
discussion.
tried to do?
We are in discussion about that. That's been a hot topic ever since we went to
Yeah.
that model.
Yeah.
Um,
It just, a lot of the elementary kids don't get.
So I know that as a team, we're discussing the Friday transportation. I have my opinion, but I don't want to share it until Mr. St. John brings it up. So, but thank you.
Thank you,
For
guys.
the record, Mr. West, that was not me that got on at Whipple and off at the wrong spot. Thanks, guys.
Do you have anything else, Mr. St. John?
Just a food service update. The RFP or RFB, I'm not sure which one it is. Because there are three different ones, right? But that for our food service contractor, that is with the ADE, the Arizona Department of Education, and so I'm kind of expecting. So we're moving along. We're getting close to being able to move forward and get a food service contract going. And that's really important because we do great things with that, but we just have some things that they're going to do better for us. So we're excited about getting that going pretty soon.
Is that all?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Item 9.1, classified personnel for your approval.
Just a reminder on what was the name again?
Brandon Bush.
Brandon. That is
A 12-month
months.
employee.
please. Yeah, not 10.
I'll make motion to approve as presented.
But with the 10.
We just need to make
12
one switch.
Yeah, with the change, right. With the change as you presented, yes.
Yep.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item 9.2, approval of certified personnel as presented.
I move to approve the certified employment actions as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 9.3, Whipple Ranch Elementary Principal. Can we have the hiring committee present on that? Charla? Can you see it?
To present, but I can absolutely present. So, thank you. Myself, Mr. Van Nostren from Nicholas. See if I can recall. Sherry Ramirez, a teacher from Linden Elementary. Kathy Bishop, a teacher from Nicholas Homestead, and Michelle Shoup. We all served on the committee. We interviewed 3 of the applicants, all from within the district. We interviewed Chris Jones, a teacher at Whipple. We interviewed Reagan Roach, who's a instructional coach at Nicholas. And we also interviewed Mrs. Anderson, Douglas, who is serving as the interim principal at Whipple Ranch. And once we interviewed all 3 applicants, had our discussion, pros and cons of each applicant and went through the answers, and pretty much overwhelmingly, we decided that Mrs. Douglas was our choice for the principal at Bull Ranch. She's already been doing such a fantastic job and has really meshed with the administrative team already. And we made our recommendation to Mr. St. John. And I think he had the same thought on who should be.
Fully concur.
Yep.
Could Mrs. Douglas come up here if there's one fraction of the community who doesn't know who she is? I don't think you guys just come out to hang out here for a safe place from the second Thursday of the month.
Nothing else to do with their lives, yes. So we would like to recommend Heather Douglas as the principal for Whipple Ranch Elementary.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion for approval of Heather Douglas as our active principal at Whipple Ranch Elementary.
All motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Congratulations.
Heather, yeah, Heather. How long have you been in the district? Like you don't have to
98?
25 plus you're 13 in school, right?
Well, yeah.
Since 98?
Full life, basically.
Somebody said, you bleed green and gold. And I'm like, you're right. I pretty much do. So I think that was Chris, actually.
Well, welcome.
So thank you.
Well, congratulations.
Glad to have you.
Glad to have you.
We're looking forward to what you're going to bring and how you're going to make that happen over there.
Mm-hmm.
We're excited.
Item 9.4, District Instructional and Curriculum Director. We're having a little change up in there, and Mr. St. John can talk about it, but Ms. Charlotte could come back up here. Probably. She didn't need to sit down so far away again.
My recommendation is to transfer Ms. Cosgray from her current position as principal at Linden to the district instructional and curriculum director. I just think she's A+. She's as good as you're going to get, and we have advantages because she's here. So she knows who we are. She knows about our curriculum, which, again, when you know somebody, they really kind of can't miss, right? We know what qualities we want, and we look for that when we go through the process when we need to. But when we have a transfer like this, to me, it's a no-brainer. Yeah.
Well, I'd like to make motion to approve and thank you for all you've done at Linden. I will miss you because I have grandkids there, but you're going to be great. Thank you.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Congratulations. Item 9.5, adopt 23-24 school calendar. I think option 1 was ticked. Is that right?
I'll give you a hard copy, and you should have the same thing on your board docs if that's showing up.
Are these proposed times for next year, or is that just the times that we have this year?
What times are you referring to?
For start times and end times? Are they going to be the same as this year or different? Because I think
Still not understanding the question.
Because
I'm
on
sorry.
here in the green box, it has what the start and end times are.
Gosh. Okay, well,
Was that
I'm
just
not
so
sure
that you
what's
could
on
be
there. That's kind of the
calculating
extra
minutes?
information that we use. I think that, I guess this is really what I'm thinking of. It does have the 180 days of work days for staff. It's 144 and a half for student instruction days. The start times, we are looking at keeping the staggered times. I think if there's something that might work better for a school, but we do feel we need to keep the staggered. There are some advantages to that. Of course, there's some disadvantages, but the reason we feel we have to keep staggered is because we really have to essentially double our bus drivers. It's not a budget thing. I think if we wanted to, and we thought that was the best thing to do to try to go back, which there definitely is some good rationale for going back to some times that would be pretty close to each other again, but we don't feel that we have the ability, even although we're doing better because we have raised our salaries for it. We still think we just don't know that we can get to, if we're currently at 7, we might go to 8. That would mean 16 or another 8 bus drivers. And we don't feel like that's viable. So we feel like it's best we need to stay with our staggered. And with that, the one benefit again is we can keep our older kids and younger kids, on on the buses,
Separate
at least
buses,
kind of separate. I mean, I think it's great when they're working together. I just watched a bunch of freshmen. They're coming from that freshman academy over at Whipple that are reading to kids. And it was awesome. So, I mean, I'm not saying that's not a good thing, but maybe on the bus might be a little iffy.
It is.
Were there any concerns with the lag in payroll at all? I know that's always a concern.
So unfortunately, all the work and everything, and this is kind of the popular calendar. I think it's 170 people. So, but this does have, my understanding is with the pay schedule that there would be an entire paycheck with those 2 weeks at Christmas, the way it's designed, that it wouldn't be there. Now we do have that attendance monies that goes there too for classified, but it would be there is a 2 week gap. But we discussed that and worked at that. It just didn't work out that way. But there is a gap there. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I really appreciate all the work that everyone on the calendar committee must have put into trying to make it all work for everyone. So I'll motion to approve the district calendar as presented.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item 9.6, school property and teacherages. Mr. St. John.
Okay. Well, again, what I'm asking, we talked about this in the work session. I'm just asking for approval for an exploration of what we might be able to do on some of the property that we do have, even though we, in the end, may not want to use it for that. But we want to go through the process, and I would be more than willing to do that to find out the information of what it would be actually like if we want to do that. So I'm just asking for approval of exploration to look for teachers as on available school land and other if there's an opportunity, but it's pretty much about our land, which specifically we were talking about the land that's next to Nicholas, perhaps next to Whipple, and next to the business office.
And look into that 10 acres that originally was set aside up on the bluff, if you would.
I will do that.
Make motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item 9.7, mental health PHS agreement.
I'll speak to that real quick. The agreement actually looks kind of complex because it's written by lawyers. That's what we do these days. It was checked over by our lawyer. The reality is it's fairly benign, meaning, there's just not that many resources or commitment on our behalf. It's just another resource that can be utilized by parents. So it seems like, where's the downside to this? I can't see it. So it feels like, yeah, we want to do this, but I always want to put these kind of things in front of the board in case there's something I'm missing. But I feel like it's just another good resource that could really potentially help some kids. Who knows? So it might be very little done with it. I don't know. I like the people that I've spoken with and been working with a little bit in regards to this, but it just seems like kind of one of those things. I can't see the downside why we wouldn't go into this agreement, but I still wanted the board to approve it.
Seems like a good opportunity to me. And I guess we'll see if anyone takes advantage of it. So I'll motion to approve as presented.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item 9.8, school properties disposal. Mr. West, do you want to talk about that?
You're volunteering everyone, Stacey.
I am. Yeah, I just love on it today. Did we change this last year to not doing the live auction? We're doing everything online?
It's online, yes.
Okay, so is that going to be ongoing all year or just certain times during the year that you put items on there?
We can do it all year. Certain things need to come to the governing board because its value is higher, like $5,000 or more. We need board approval. Vehicles, we have to have board approval. I don't have the list in front of me because I sent it out, but we have a lot of antique stuff.
Vintage?
That we need to get out of here. Most of the schools have been buying brand new equipment and brand new desks and stuff. We have a bunch of student desk copiers that have all outlived their life. We can't keep storing them like at the bus barn and other places. So we just need the approval so we can put those higher valued items onto the website so we can get rid of them.
Okay. And where can people find which website?
It was actually the public surplus.
Okay.
I don't remember the exact thing. It was public surplus auctions. is the website. And then once we post it on there, that's on there for 14 days. Once an item does not sell, we automatically repost it for another 14 days for the higher dollar stuff, like vehicles and things like that. We'll post it twice. And then after the second posting, if nothing sells, then we dispose of it. Through procurement, we are allowed to put it in the garbage. So we have a dumpster that is available for that. But we anticipate most of the stuff will go, like the desks and stuff. I don't anticipate much happening with those, but we have to do our diligence to make sure that we do it the legal way.
You guys have any questions? No. Thank you.
I'll make motion to approve as presented.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item 9.9, fundraising activity for your approval.
I'll make motion to approve as presented.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item 9.10, out-of-state field trips for your approval. This is actually out-of-the-country field trip for the Spanish Club.
You approve that once, it's just new, there are
New
new.
chaperones.
Yeah.
I motion to approve as presented.
A second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Sorry, guys. Item 9.11, district travel reimbursement rates. You want to talk about that, Mr. St. John?
Well, it's just the new state law regarding
The living
travel reimbursement.
change? Okay.
I got they went up a little bit. With that, I'll motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Item 9.12, gifts and donations. We have one from Charlie Brown for $800 for food service donation to help cover the cost of meals for kids that have unpaid invoices, and Trent and Teresa Kime and Pickleball Friends donation of $550 to the Sholo Junior High for PBIS program for your approval.
I'll make motion to approve as presented.
I'll second with my thanks.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Might entertain a motion to adjourn.
So motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, meeting adjourned. Thank you.